Hello everybody, I'm KiDarknessDragon of the Los Angeles Klefkis. I'm part of the NPA Season 2, which, as you know, is a battle league here. It's vastly grew and expanded from Season 1, and while I had kind of a bad record in Season 1, I'm here back with my new assistant coach. I have more battle experience under my belt, and I'm hoping to do a lot better. So I'm in a red division, and my first opponent of the season is none other than TheXseption coaching the Tampa Bay Luxrays. You know, he's bringing out the Latios, the Cavalier, the Florges, Jellison, Ditto, and the Lando, which, quite frankly, was the thing that was worrying the most. But, you know, we're going to get right into this replay and show you guys what happened. I was pretty nervous to record it during our live battle, so I'm a little bit more comfortable doing this post-battle commentary. So I led with my loaded thinking that it's pretty bulky, it can probably handle most things, and out comes the Lando. So pretty good move on his part, you know, getting his most, to me, his scariest offensive threat here first. His Intimidate actually just boosts us because we have that competitive ability. So he actually swaps out first into Jellison, which is pretty smart because he predicted the Scald, and that's unfortunately not going to do anything at all for me. And he does get that Toxic off, which is problematic because it's going to start whittling down our HP. I was hoping for the burn there, but, you know, I'm just going to Dragon Tail this thing away because I don't want to deal with Jellison. Cursed Body does activate, disabling our Dragon Tail, but that's not too big of an issue. So out comes Florges, and at this point, you know, I'm expecting a Moonblast, so I'm just going to keep this thing in and maybe try to get some damage off. So he does go for the Moonblast, and it takes a decent amount. Our special attack does drop, unfortunately, but our competitive ability does raise our special attack back up. So that's pretty cool. We get the Scald, and it takes a good portion of his HP down, and we do get the burn off. So at this point, I'm thinking this thing is probably either going to go for maybe Aromatherapy or another Moonblast. So I'm not quite sure what I should do here. Toxic damage is going to be very troublesome because I don't want this thing to go down like super quickly or anything like that. So I'm going to swap out here, try to go for like something effective against it. So out comes my Cobalion named Cobalt, and he actually just goes straight up for the heal with the Synthesis. Pretty smart move on his play. I mean, he's already down to like, it looks like almost half health at that point. And, you know, I'm thinking, is he going to swap out? Is he going to go for another Moonblast? But that wouldn't make sense with Cobalion out. So he actually switches back into Landorus. And that's not the greatest of news for me because, you know, I'm like, what do I do here? So I was pretty smart. I went with the Stealth Rocks, thinking that he would swap out. So I have to give myself more credit than I remember. I swap out, expecting him to just go for an EQ, which is going to probably KO my Cobalion. And he does go for that. And at this point, okay, I don't know what's going to happen with my loading. It's got Toxic damage. It's taking an EQ. I'm probably just going to sack this thing off. Because even though we have lefties, that's not going to do anything when we have Toxic. We have 25 health left. And he actually switches out Lando again, which was surprising. I thought he was just going to go for the EQ. But I guess he was expecting another Scald. He takes the Stealth Rock damage, but this time I actually went for the Ice Beam. I think he would switch to something else. I'm not sure what at the time. You know, that unfortunately, again, doesn't do anything at all to, you know, Pringles man over there with that Jellicent. And, you know, I'm pretty much committed to sacking this thing. You know, I'll just go for the straight Skull. Hope for, like, maybe another burn if I'm lucky. And, unfortunately, I don't get it, but I do get a crit. But he goes for the Recover, which basically makes all my work for naught. Lefty goes off, but I'm pretty sure we can't survive that residual Toxic damage there. And down goes our first Pokemon of the battle, Melodic. You know, we did get a burn off on Florges. We did make him swap out a bunch of times. So, I guess to serve his purpose. I probably could have played out a bit differently. I sent out Cobalion again, wanting to just kind of, I believe, Volt Switch at the time. And he smartly predicted that by sending out Lando. He probably thought, you know, I'm sure he's seen Cobalion before. So, Volt Switch doesn't do anything at all because of that ground typing. So, I'm forced to switch out again. This time, I go into Diggersby here, expecting the EQ. And he does go for it, and for whatever reason, I thought EQ wouldn't do too much to us, but that basically KOs us, and I'm thinking maybe I'll outspeed him, but no. So I kind of just wasted Diggersby there. Pretty big mistake on my part. So at this point, I'm like, alright, whatever. I'm just going to Mecha Sceptile and see what he does. Like, is he stuck into EQ with like a choice? Because he's not Life Orbed or anything like that. So out comes Jellicent again, and I'm pretty sure I was just going for a Dragon Pulse at this point with the Mega Evolution, because I'm thinking whatever he switches into, Dragon Pulse is going to do a lot of damage. So I do indeed go for the Dragon Pulse here, and it doesn't do as much as I thought. And to my surprise, he actually keeps Jellicent in, so I just went for the Leaf Storm on the off chance that he was going to just keep it in. So, you know, the special attack is going to drop, which sucks, but I needed to take down at least one of his Pokemon. So I believe that's the first Pokemon of his that's gone down. And out comes Ditto. Now, this thing terrifies me. I'm not sure, like, how it works. It's got Imposter on it, so, you know, it's going to destroy us. And I forget that, you know, it copies our stats, I believe. I for some reason thought I was going to outspeed this. And he gets the crit even with Dragon Pulse, so, honestly, that, to me, at this point, like, I know I'm in big trouble. I've lost my Mega, I've lost Diggersby, you know, I've lost my Tank and my Lodic, and, ugh, it just sucks. So I'm expecting the second Dragon Pulse, which is why I went into Cobalion. For some reason, I forgot about Lightning Rod. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just Volt Switch, but to my surprise, he actually swaps out. I thought he was going to keep the Ditto in. So out comes Lando again, my worst enemy here, right? And I swap him out because I don't want to take another EQ. I'm expecting the EQ or something, so I choose my Muck. Now, you're thinking, why would you send out Muck? But the good thing is I do have that air balloon, so I was expecting him to do something, but he actually swapped out before that even happened. Before even going for the EQ. So out comes the Scavalier, takes that tiny Stealth Rocks damage, and I'm thinking, alright, whatever it is, I'm going to Ice Punch it. And, you know, since he swapped out, it does nothing. But I outspeed this thing, which I was surprised. I thought it was going to outspeed me. And I Fire Punch this thing, get the crit even. And down goes his second Pokemon of the battle. And I'm like, okay, Latios. And, you know, what am I going to do here? It's going to, like, do some sort of Psychic move. So I'm going to swap back out into Cobalion, since it's got that Steel typing. And at this point, I totally forgot, like, what was his Mega again? I'm like, alright, Latios. You know, I didn't do, admittedly, enough preparation for this battle, and I can tell he really has with this moveset and everything. So Psyshock does a decent amount of damage, but he swaps out again. So he, you know, he's doing moves that I'm not predicting at all. I thought he was going to keep him in to go for something else. So, again, I try to Volt Switch, and I'm stopped again by Landorus, which stinks, definitely. I'm expecting the EQ, so I went into Muck again with, you know, the wonderful air balloon and all that. And to my surprise, he actually goes for the superpower, which makes sense, you know, Cobalion, I guess. So my balloon pops, and I'm thinking, alright, do I outspeed this thing? And I don't, obviously. So down goes my poor Muck, Elliot. If you're watching this, Galactic Elliot, I'm sorry, I failed you. I've made so many mistakes this battle, so I'm thinking, alright, what do I even do here? I'll just send out Spiritomb. Maybe I'll go for a Foul Play. I don't think an EQ will KO us at this point, but it's gonna hurt. It does less damage than I thought, but, you know, we've got a big dent in our HP. We get the crit even with Foul Play. I'm not completely sure if we needed it, but, you know, I'm thinking, alright, is there a chance for me to, even a remote chance for me to come back? You know, so, I actually swap out because I'm afraid of Florges. And I'm expecting, like, the Moonblast again. Which he does go for, but Cobalion has too little health, and unfortunately will not survive this. attack, even though I did make the prediction, but I'm not sure what would have been the best move for me there. So out comes Spiritomb again, and I'm thinking, alright, well, I'm just gonna do whatever moves I have left in me. I'm in a really bad position. And he's just going for the straight Moonblast again, which, you know, takes us down, it outspeeds us, and it's super effective, so we're pretty much done at this point. But honestly, even though I did make some mistakes, I had a lot of fun. I was super nervous with this battle. For my upcoming battles, I need to make sure to do more preparation, but I'm not taking any away, like, I can't possibly take away any of the success that TheXseption had with this battle. You know, the Tampa Bay Luxrays have a wonderful team. He made the right calls, and I made a couple really bad misplays, which I think ultimately lost me games, such as, you know, maybe keeping it in my low deck for so long, letting Diggersby take that EQ, and, you know, I just have to find ways to improve. But hopefully all of you watching did enjoy that battle. I'm hoping the Los Angeles Klefkis, coached by me and my assistant coach, will come back stronger for our next match. But until the next time, I'm KiDarknessDragon. Thank you for watching. Peace.